The awards will cover stories published during the month of August and October 2025, focusing on 3 thematic areas, and that is gender-based violence, sexual reproductive health rights, and refugee rights. These awards come at a very critical time in Uganda's media landscape. Every day, journalists across the country shape public opinion and influence decision-making through the stories they tell. Yet, as many studies have shown, issues that affect women, girls, and other marginalized groups often remain underreported, misrepresented, or told without the sensitivity they deserve. In 2019, for example, we did a study here at UMWA, and we found out that 90% of GB story sources were men, while over 90% of survivors were women and girls. This gap demonstrates how much work remains for our media to amplify women's voices and to report on gender issues with depth, balance, and empathy. It is against this background that we have established the Gender Media Awards through this initiative. This is what we are going to do. We are going to recognize journalists who have gone the extra mile to report stories on gender-based violence, sexual reproductive health rights, and rights of refugees. And these journalists should have done these stories in a way which is with responsibility, accuracy, and compassion. We also want to motivate journalists to embrace gender-responsive journalism and to see that telling these stories is not just a duty, but a powerful tool for social transformation.
We partnered with UNDP and the other organizations that have been mentioned. There was a need to recognize people or writers or media houses that are writing a little bit better on gender-based violence and SRH plus refugee rights. Yeah? So, it is to motivate and also create more awareness on the importance of writing better about these particular issues. Quite a lot has been said and clarified, but I think one thing that was not mentioned was that even media houses are going to be assessed. We have already gotten content from the specific media houses that we are going to assess, against which we can benchmark your stories and say, you know what, your stories has passed the test. So there is that tool that has been developed. The Uganda Media Association is going to assess media houses on how you are reporting about the electoral processes. So there is also that tool that has already been developed.
It doesn't matter whether you are from online or print or radio or TV, it doesn't matter, for as long as you have. And then also one journalist can submit more than one story, but also one journalist can also submit a story in each of the categories. It's very okay. If you've written on all the 3 thematic areas, you can submit. You just have to fill the 3 different forms. If you have 2 stories, you fill 2 forms. If you have 3, you fill the 3 forms. The other thing, why do we limit August to October? It's because this particular project has a timeline. So, for example, the awards is one of the things which we are supposed to end with. And we know that we are supposed to end this project before the end of the first quarter of next year. So we wanted to give it a space of 3 months so that we assess them very well, and then we come up with the awards maybe towards the end of the year. Then also the deadline for submission, we said a story in August and October. So August, September, October. If you've written a story in that timeline, it is okay. Doesn't matter the beginning of August or at the end of October.